The country we call the United States of America did not start with George Washington. It did not start with the Mayflower. It did not start with the Declaration of Independence. No, the true beginning of this land goes back thousands of years to a strange, ice-covered land, a world without roads, politics, or any trace of civilization. Comma. Just ice, fire, storms, and humans. Humans whose only weapons were courage, patience, and intelligence. This is the unknown history of America. The history we've forgotten. The people who laid the very first foundations of this land. And their story is what we're about to explore. Chapter 1. The Unknown America. Imagine. The year is roughly 15,000 years ago. You're standing somewhere in what's now Alaska. But Alaska back then was not the Alaska we know today. The whole region is covered in ice. Miles upon miles of towering glaciers. What scientists call the ice sheet. Places like today's New York, Michigan, and North Dakota, all buried under snow. No permanent settlements. Few plants, less food. Survival was anything but guaranteed. And the dangers? Terrifying. Deadly predators? No dinosaurs, but far more dangerous hunters. Saber-toothed tigers, with teeth as long as a human hand. Short-faced bears, some of the deadliest bears ever, faster than horses, stronger than today's grizzlies. Dire wolves, ancestors of modern wolves, terrifying in packs. And above all, the woolly mammoth, so enormous that standing in front of one felt like facing a moving mountain. In this immense, unknown, merciless world, how did humans survive? How did they live? And why did they even come here? The answers start with a few people, a handful of families, some children, and a few brave explorers. Chapter 2. First footsteps into America. How did humans first set foot in what is now the United States? The most widely accepted theory is the Bering Land Bridge theory. Back then, sea levels were much lower. Between Russia and Alaska, there was no sea, only a vast, icy land called Beringer. Through this frozen pathway, hunters from Asia, with their families, slowly entered America, but the journey was anything but easy. Every day was a prayer. May we find food today. Every day was filled with fear. May the predators not find us today. And every day was carried with hope. We will survive. Children's noses turned red in the cold. Mothers held hands tightly, their eyes showing no fear, because there was no time to be afraid. Men carried spears, ready for any shadow that might move. They crossed mountains, rivers, and snowstorms. Week after week, those who survived became the first true Americans. Chapter 3. Daily Life of Paleo Indians. Once in America, a new world lay ahead. Vast, dangerous, but full of opportunity. Homes, they built small, tipi-like shelters from animal hides, wooden poles, and bones. Fires burned through the night. Even as snow fell outside, the inside stayed warm. Shadows danced in the firelight, and children's eyes sparkled with curiosity. Food. Gathering food was a full-time job. A successful hunt meant the whole family celebrated. A failed hunt meant worry and hunger. They ate mammoth, bison, deer, fish, nuts, wild fruits. Nothing went to waste. Skins became clothing. Bones became tools. Meat became food. Family life. Men hunted. Women gathered food. Children learned early how to make spears, track animals, start fires. Family was the center of survival. One person's failure was everyone's failure. One person's success was a family celebration. Chapter 4. The Hunt. Today, Americans see hunting as a sport. Back then, hunting was survival. A mammoth kill meant food for an entire village for a month. But mammoths were massive. One swing could crush a person. So hunts required planning, patience, and teamwork. Hunters spread out. Some to the right, some to the left, some hiding in front. Then, at the right moment, they would all shout together, confuse the mammoth, and throw their spears. Victory meant celebration. Failure meant mourning. The rules of survival were clear. The strong lived. The united lived. The fearless lived. Chapter 5. Tools and Weapons. Their greatest weapon. Their minds. They shaped stones into spearheads, knives, scrapers, arrowheads. These tools were so sharp and precise that even today, museums display them with awe. A small stone could cut meat. A large spear could take down bison. Their technology was simple, but flawless. Chapter 6. Enemies they faced. Humans were not the most powerful creatures on Earth. They were low on the predator list. The biggest threats: saber-toothed tigers, capable of decapitating a person in one bite. Short-faced bears, faster than any running human. Sometimes, hunters themselves became prey. That was the rule in ancient America. Chapter 7. Community and Culture. Survival wasn't just about strength. Humans had already created music, stories, rituals, and beliefs. At night, by the fire, elders would tell stories. How gods sent rain. How fire became humans' friend. How the spirits of the dead lived in the mountains. Children listened in awe. This was their school. After successful hunts, small celebrations followed. Songs, dances, drums. They believed, respect nature, and nature will respect you. Chapter 8. America changes forever. Thousands of years later, the climate began to change. Ice melted, forests grew, jungles spread, mammoths went extinct. New animals appeared: deer, elk, turkeys. Humans adapted. Hunter bands became permanent tribes. People started settling in one place. The first small settlements of what would become the USA were born. Chapter 9. Legacy of the First Americans. Before skyscrapers, highways, cities, science, or technology, the first Americans stood on this land and said, "We will survive." Their courage, their ability to face danger, their struggle against nature, all became part of America's DNA. If we forget their story, America's story is incomplete. This land didn't begin with war, independence, or economy. It began with the struggle to keep a family warm by a fire. They had no flags, no countries, no maps, but they shaped this land. Their sweat, their fear, their struggle. This is what America was built on. This is the true beginning. This is the first chapter. This is how the first people survived ancient America.